All right, everybody, welcome back. So this is what I am reading so far for fall and winter of 2025, and I want to know what you guys are reading as well. So right now, I'm finishing up the second book of the Ringworld series, the Ringworld Engineers by Larry Niven, and that's pretty interesting. And I probably will commit to the entire series. I think it's like 3, maybe 4 books. Because it's just like such an interesting story, and the way that he writes is super cool, and very, very, very interesting and unique, right? So, and then number 2, I was introduced to the Wheel of Time, like just briefly way back in the day, and I want to get into that, right? And I do have The Eye of the World waiting. I'm sorry, I'm like next in line at my library to pick that up. I'm sounding the way that I am because I just know that it's just going to be a big ask, getting into that. And I know how I am with series, especially like the high fantasy is, like I get into it and I want to finish the entire thing and get like super, super into it and all that. That said, I'm also looking at picking up the first Brandon Sanderson Mistborn book. I've read like 3 of the Stormlight Archives, but I'm more interested in the Cosmere as a whole, and I'm looking up where to start as far as like working through that. There's a ton of different answers for that question, but his recommendation, a lot of other people's recommendation, is to go back to the first Mistborn. So those 2, golly, Eye of the World and Mistborn, that's going to be a big ask. I might have to renew a couple of those and just keep going until fall, maybe spring. Let's see. I picked up book 3 and 4 by Craig Johnson of the Longmire series. I have been putting off, getting into the Longmire for a long time. But I picked up 1 and then got hooked on it, and then 2 recently. And then, now 3 and 4, I was able to pick up from a family member, and he has the entire series. So hopefully can get through those. Those are pretty sweet reads. I have some nonfiction upstairs. It's about, one of the editors of Outside Magazine. It's called Running Home, and it's talking about her life, going into running, and then, a story about her dad. I do enjoy running, and I like reading about that genre, and it sounds like a very interesting story. So a couple of chapters into that, and it's sounding pretty good so far. And then also, there's another book. I'll have it on the screen, but it's like Crazy Unplanned, project or whatever. Gosh, it's another one where a gentleman later in life, he was a CNN correspondent, and then his 18-year-old daughter challenged him to a marathon, and then he got really into it. It sounds like he started running ultra marathons and that. So I figured that'd be a good, interesting read. Again, on the screen now, I apologize, I'm forgetting about the title of that. Okay, so that should fill me for, the winter time here. I've got, the hardbacks, paperbacks, and then audiobooks, all kinds of stuff to surround me here. And then I just finished Lee Howard and the Ghosts of Simon Pierce Manor. Mr. Sean Warner, heard about him actually through Reddit about the TikTok where he was, found out at, it looks like a Target or Walmart, where his book was all of a sudden thrust into the spotlight there. That's a very interesting read. If he writes another one, I'll probably read it just to see what happens. But, that young adult genre, I'm kind of plus minus on that one. I might do a review on it. I don't know. It was a kind of an interesting book. Got a little zesty in the end. Let's just put it that way. Okay. What are you guys reading? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to get this started, and we can go back and forth about what everybody's interests are. Okay. Woo, it started to snow today here in Minnesota. So that's what we got going on. Thank you guys so much. Take care.